So we are still waiting right now on this case to come along here, and still bidding on that property. So I'm still waiting to kind of like see what bid is gonna go up to, and then see if anybody is gonna bid on this property. And just to remind you, today we are looking at HOA foreclosures, and one of them is good and one of them is really bad. Okay, I would buy this property gladly for $15,000 to $20,000. You know, even in today's market, it's a bit high for HOA foreclosure compared to what I am paying in other counties. But that's okay because I have inventory. I know I can rent it as a fact. I have a management company. I have all the tools to support my strategy. And that's not less important. I have the foreclosure defense attorneys. I have everybody I need not to make a mistake. And even if I buy this property for like $30,000 today, and I'm gonna pay 5% for my bid here, that's not gonna be a big problem for me, okay? Because that's a cost of doing business. That's a cost of securing a position on a property. Okay, when you secure your position on a property, that gives you either the opportunity to go with it or the opportunity to just call it a loss. Okay, and 5% out of $30,000 is not a lot of money in auction when you used to buy properties at $200,000, $300,000, where you have to come up with $15,000 deposit. So 5%, like $1,500 to place a bad bid, comparing to the reward you can get, it's not a huge risk as long as you know what you're doing. Okay, so we are moving forward to another sale that is coming here in the auction, and then this property is supposed to be called, and it's going to be very interesting to see how much it's going to go for. So this is a good case to buy, as we just checked before. Okay, we checked the lease pendens. Okay, that's the document that is being the first document that is being filed when there is a foreclosure. It's a lease pendens in Florida. In some other counties, it's called the notice of default, and that tells you if there is a pending litigation against that property. It tells you and it tells the world, or kind of like notifying them that there is a litigation against that property, like there is a cloud against that property. And until that litigation is over, you're gonna have to do a lot of things to kind of like clean title or clear title. So we are waiting on that sale to finish here. It's another house in Davie that they're buying. Of course, they're paying so much money today for almost everything. $250,000 for something that it's worth maybe 300, I would say. 317. Retail is 317. There is not a lot of rooms here. Okay, this can go on for some time because every time they place a bid, the bidding is going by 1 minute. It adds up another minute and another minute. And sometimes you can stay here all day long, you know, with a lot of adrenaline. I want to buy this property, and you know, you get to that property and all of a sudden it cancels. All of a sudden somebody puts a bid that doesn't make sense at all. They just kill the sale. And that's what's happening today. People are going crazy. You should really be conservative. I guess this advice can help more people not make mistakes than other people to make wins, but not making mistakes in real estate is not less important than making a good deal. You make a good deal, you want to replicate it, you're very excited, you want to eat the world, and then you can also make mistakes. But when you are not successful at the beginning, you just don't come back to the game anymore, and that's unfortunate. So that's why it's so important when you buy to be conservative and to really know what you're doing, and not just go by other people's flow because they think it's a great property in Davie here, a nice townhouse, but they're still paying like almost retail price here. When you pay retail price, you don't get any advantage. Basically, you don't get a lot of equity to work with, and in order to make some money, you need some equity to work with. All right, guys, so here we are at the auction, and the HOA foreclosure just started for $20,000, 27. So remember when I said up here I will be paying like $15,000 to $20,000 for something like that, which is fine, still fine. I mean, if you make $2,200 every single month renting this property, you might be breaking even right now after maybe 1 year and 3 months. That's basically how I calculated. Every time the bid goes up, my break even is longer of my investment. And yes, it's great to buy a property that it's worth $350,000 only for $30,000, because if you go and live in that property instead of renting, if you have the $30,000 or even $40,000, I don't know what it's gonna come to, and you have the money to buy it, and you can keep it for 3 or 4 years while you live in there, so that might be a good opportunity for you to save on rent as well. Buy it for your own use. That's what I'm trying to say. And if $2,200 is the market rent over there, multiple 36. Okay, that's for 3 years. You'll be paying $80,000 for 3 years renting that property. That's what you'll be paying. And instead you can just buy the property itself and fight the bank as long as you can while you own the property. One of the great things about only buying an HOA foreclosure is that you know that the bank is going to come afterwards. And when the bank comes afterwards, you can basically overbid everybody else at the auction because you already have possession to that property. You might already have a client for that property, okay? So you might already secure the client for that, and you go to the auction, you buy it, and then you sell it immediately to somebody. So if this property that I'm living here right now is gonna come to the auction, okay, I can know about it, and 3 months before I can market this property for sale because I'm the owner. Even though there is a mortgage on that property, when you buy an HOA foreclosure, you can do whatever, okay? You can rent it, you can sell it, you can put it in the market. It doesn't guarantee you're gonna sell it, you have a marketable title to sell it, but you have the power, okay, legally, to advertise it, to bring buyers into it, and etc., etc. So I can line up a buyer for this property, for this $800,000 property, go to the auction, buy it for $600,000, and then move it instantly to the new buyer. Why? Because I have possession to the property and other bidders don't have the possession to the property. Why? Because I can market the property and other bidders cannot market the properties, and I'm inside the property and they don't know information about the property. So that's why I'm more likely to prevail, when I already own the HOA foreclosure and then I'm trying to settle with the bank or buy them at the auction or just do a short payoff. So as you can see, this sale is already going wacko. And it's $47,000. Let me tell you, no. 50. No. And I guarantee you, all of these bidders are new bidders. The way we can check it is we can actually see who won the sale afterwards. And we can see who are the bidders. So that's what I'm gonna do in a second after this sale finishes. And it's going already crazy, $51,000 for an HOA lien.